hello. Wait, fuck, you're not audible. Hold on, there's something wrong. Why is it always? Hold on, there's more technical difficulties. Use my speakers. There we go.
We good?
You should be good now.
Yay.
For some reason, OBS decided to not listen to me.
Okay, but at least we can hear everyone, like, in the... I have stream up, I can hear everyone's voices.
Okay, good. So the talk sprites are broken because Fuji doesn't work anymore. Or not Fuji. The one we were using before Fuji. It just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I think that one was just hard-coded because OBS updated and it broke a lot of that code.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people have been having the same issue.
Like, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah. So we're just going to truck on because there's only... This is the last world. You guys are almost done. We'll be fine.
The show must go on.
We're almost there.
Also, the one non-player person in chat is probably Ford, who knows what we all sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would assume.
Yeah.
Well, Ford's also at a restaurant, so...
That's true.
Ford also cannot hear us, but when they listen back to this, oh boy... Well, I have some choice words, such as, you're cool, I like you, you're my friend.
Awesome words.
Hey, I think you need to take an Are You Gay test. That's to Ford, whenever you hear this. Don't take it.
I thought you were talking to Ronnie.
No. I mean, she can take it too if she wants to.
Which, by the way, I need to thank Ronnie. You've subscribed for 17 months. How have I been... What?
Oh, you've had affiliate for, like, almost the whole time we've been going. Let's go, man.
Yeah.
That means it's been almost 2 years since you hit affiliate, buddy.
I'm going to turn you into paper.
I mean, he might as well be now. His talk sprite ain't working.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
We're all just like cardboard cutouts.
It's like when you go to like a convention and like a VTuber is there and they obviously can't show themselves, so they just have a big cutout.
Or like Crumb puts a box on head.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of Breaking Bad AI.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of Skylaring it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been like an hour since we were supposed to start. Let's get started.
I see.
Yes, let's.
Wait, were we supposed to start at 6?
We were supposed to start at 4:30. It is currently almost 5:30.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We had tons of difficulties, so it's completely not your fault. Yeah, I spent longer than I should have trying to fix these talk sprites.
It's okay, buddy. You gave it an honest effort.
So anyway, y'all are on Zen.
What is that again? Can you give me a recap?
That's the Half-Life world.
Yeah, the Half-Life world.
So...
if you remember Hilverai, it's the part where Benry was big and chasing them around.
Yeah. Awesome place for characters. As a person, I hate this place.
I fucking hate Zen. It's wonderful in theory. I don't want to be there.
I do not like navigating Zen.
I love it.
Navigating Zen sucks.
Inhospitable place.
To be honest, to be honest, my first and only like cheatless playthrough of Half-Life, I got stuck like at holy shit, a skeleton.
It's been a while since I've watched Hilverai, so I don't remember where that was. But that's like
I know
very
that's an
early in the game.
I don't know where the vents are.
Anyway,
Yeah,
airstrike.
so yeah, because we followed the trail to Flora's other half, who is now its own sentient being. And that led us to this place.
Yeah, we got our cool end game power up, had a little couple heart to hearts, and then now we're here.
Well, can't do hearts to hearts without hearts, but
Well,
sorry.
that's a really mean way to say it, but it's fine. Look, there's only a couple of you that are heartless. It's fine.
well, no one's heartless. There's a couple nobodies.
You know what I meant. Without a
Smile.
heart. Heartless.
Freddy is a nobody?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which, like, currently right now only Flora knows, but
Yeah, you don't know shit.
True.
Anyway, you're in Zed now. There are many paths that are open for you to try to make it to the giant, obvious super boss endgame zone of a large mountain in the distance. You must choose to go through one of your guys' worlds first. You can either choose one that you guys are from or the library.
Oh boy.
Do we have to go to
I
the mall?
see.
I think thematically, library being last works. So let's go through.
I want to go to Mario World.
Okay.
Let's go Mario World.
Yay!
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 Whoa. Guys, this is
Who
my
likes Mario
home.
World?
This is where I'm from.
Oh,
I know you meant Zen, but for a split second, I had like the worst visions hop into my brain.
Mario, but
this is-
also Benry is there.
This is your house. That's it. It looks really nice. A lot of
Benny's kind of just
floating
hopping
furniture.
from the between some of the floating islands, just elated.
Okay, so
It's
Freddy
like-
was trying to talk to you and you just ran off.
Oh, no. I can hear him. Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
Who's typing?
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
Laramie is seeing this and it just has a moment of clarity of like, oh, that's why he's like this. Okay, everything makes sense now, actually.
Gravity, who needs it? It's great here.
That would explain all the floating.
Lance, as a creature who floats constantly, I think has never seen anything quite like this place, because I'm pretty sure that they also haven't even really seen like a starry sky in a while. So,
Is Lance man size or Moogle size?
I don't know. I'll be 100% honest. We're just in an alien realm. I don't know. I was gonna ask Josh if they cared.
I think for the ease of not being useless in the final battle, man-sized.
Fair enough.
Because, like you mentioned before, you only go, don't you just only go Moogle if you feel safe? And I don't think you feel safe here.
Yeah, because if Lance goes Moogle, Moogles are smaller, easier to pluck with talons.
Yeah.
You can't do that very well to like a full-grown man.
This is great, guys. I haven't been here since I was a kid.
The whole like.
How long has it been since you were a kid?
That is a very strong question to ask a creature who probably doesn't know his age. Okay,
I see.
Long.
Got it.
Fuck! Fucking got us!
Got it.
You fucking got us!
Yeah, you and yeah. Laramie's kind of, she starts like saying something else, but then she like is kind of starting to head off, and then she just kind of goes like quiet for a second.
At least way longer than the human lifespan.
Something catch your eye, Laramie?
She kind of doesn't really seem to acknowledge that.
Could you describe what
Alright.
she's seeing? That's
Here,
making
let
her do
me
this.
pull up. So what you see is, I assume, because we're at like the end of the world, right? Basically.
Yeah.
So very much ruined, but you see like she's staring out. It's like a ways away. Like you see what at least used to be like basically just these kind of like, you know, lush hills and plains and everything, and on there's kind of like a there's at not like the mountain that like Josh described as, you know, with the one being at the end, but like there's a mountain with what appears to be like a stone castle like set into it, and below it the remains of like a town. Basically just kind of like the, you know, the idea, kind of like an idyllic little like fairy tale kingdom kind of thing that's like sort of fallen to ruin.
Ooh. Want me to shapeshift? Then I could be like a bus or something. I could carry y'all.
No.
No.
Alright.
No.
I hate to
Oh,
out of character. I hate to break it to you, better. I can't even make that joke because it would be wildly inappropriate for stream. Let's continue on into Mario World.
God.
Right.
I
Type
will
it
not be
in
saying it
general.
on stream.
Type it in
Think of it
general.
yourself. Don't say anything. Let's go to
Type it
Mario.
in general. I don't get it.
Like half of it just kind of being in a like weird fugue state of saying like, oh that's home and it's here and not great, and also just kind of like just sort of like not necessarily like consciously acknowledging it, but just sort of being like oh, if I just kind of start going, they'll follow along, and also a little bit not really caring if they don't, because emotions are happening right now.
mhm.
So she summons her Keyblade glider and starts zipping over.
Benry's just on all fours, like running across and bounding from island to island.
He is in his element.
He's
Yes.
fucking gone.
Oh, wait, wait, Laramie,
With you
Laramie,
guys,
hold on.
with everyone.
And then I just start following Laramie, of course.
Stays
What-
with
what do you-
everyone.
Vegeta, what did you say?
I was just saying, oh, hey, hold up,
I see.
as I start pacing after you.
I don't know if she either isn't listening or kind of doesn't really care. She's been like it not necessarily, you know, this is something that like, you know, is observable to the rest of the party, but like she's kind of been like sort of pushing her stuff kind of to the side for now, trying to kind of like hold everybody together. And so to like be met with, you know, she's been wondering what happened to her world, if there's been anything left this whole time. And so to finally kind of see it and be sort of stricken with that grief, it's kind of it's having more sway over her than she thought or really would be willing to admit. So she's
No.
just kind of still booking it over.
Oh.
I guess we gotta go after her.
Yep.
We can't just let her wander off.
No.
He wait up.
Like, so we're all just following her in Super Mario.
She so she doesn't like she doesn't like stop to like let you guys catch up to her while She's gliding, but she does like at least whenever she like first like touches down onto like solid ground, at least seems to like wait for you guys to get there.
So where exactly are we, Kupo?
This is, or well, I guess was my homeworld.
Oh,
Oh boy.
sorry about that.
And she's kind of like, she knows it's kind of like futile, but she's just sort of scanning to see if she sees like anything or anyone. But presumably it's just kind of barren.
It's just kind of empty. You don't even see any like heartless or anything.
She is gonna just kind of start wandering, just kind of generally in the direction of like the castle.
Okay.
Nothing bad ever happens here. Don't worry.
Nothing
So-
bad would ever happen.
So this place is called like the Fungus Confederacy or something?
No, this is the Crabgrass Kingdom.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Like
Okay.
that's not what it's
Name.
called. Like she just turns like that's not what it's
No,
called.
not what it's called.
Not her name.
Can- oh,
Oh, this. What the hell did he get here?
Yeah.
I mean, probably the same as any of the other worlds that got swallowed up.
Well, why does stuff go to Benry's house when it gets swallowed?
What
I think
what?
is Benry's house?
Like the space thing.
I think
the-
it's that everything. I think everything that got swallowed up is going to the same place. I don't think this is where Benry is from. I think
I
where Benry's is
see.
from ended up here.
That makes a lot more sense. Oh man. I guess that's 2 worlds we know for sure are gone.
Someone's
see-
basically standing on a graveyard.
At that, Larrabee very like has sort of a not like running, but has a little bit more hustle.
Oh.
Oh no.
She's gonna kind of go. She's gonna go to where she knew kind of one of the little hubs for the different like the warp boxes were, which were kind of how, basic like warp pipe like bootleg warp pipes basically. And she's gonna kind of like inspect it. Does it seem to be like working? Like would it take her anywhere, or is it just kind of inert?
It's just kind of dead. It's not gonna do anything.
Damn.
Alright, she is gonna... Then she's gonna go to the, what would be the kind of like... It seems it's more of like a commercial district. You know, kind of got like, workshops and stores. And you see one particular workshop that's just kind of like... Just sort of... Whatever sign was there has, like... fallen off or gotten sucked away or something, but you see her, she's like walking through it, like it's very familiar. She goes and there's like an apartment upstairs that she goes into.
Is this her apartment?
Yep.
Right. As you walk into this apartment, you see a fairly small Heartless. It's shaped like a Neo shadow, but it's like barely larger than a regular shadow.
Oh no, that's her brother, isn't it?
No,
Does it?
Sorry.
No.
Out of character.
Mm-mm.
no.
I'm gonna.
Oh, thank God.
I don't know if there's like a specific like question that I could ask for it specifically, but I'm gonna roll a deep dive.
Uh-huh.
So that's +2 because it's with heart. That is a total of 9.
Okay. Well, you want to know.
So just ask. I guess what was done here recently, just kind of trying to gauge if she could tell what or like who this thing is and why it got how it got here.
Um, this is less of like an actual like person thing or anything. This is just like a heartless that is in here for plot reasons. For like thematic reasons rather.
Has it noticed her?
No, it's just kind of sniffing around, poking at stuff. Kind of like a curious dog.
Mm-hmm. Did anyone else follow her up here, or
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I
don't
would
know
I
where
would
we
say
go here.
yeah. I would say that like seeing how like what is who is usually our rock of the party get like just be so kind of acting abnormally than usual. Like Freddy's tried like as well as he can trying to stay like close on her tail.
I think Elda's gonna hesitate a little bit, like, oh, do I want to like go into her house? Is this like an invasion of privacy? But then he thinks really hard about her like getting eaten by a heartless or something, and he hustles inside.
is which bedroom is it in? Is it in hers or her brother's?
Uh, leaving that up to you.
Cool.
Oh.
We'll say it's her brother's for maximum dramatic effect of, oh, what if it is him?
Oh, what if it
Nothing bad ever
is?
happens.
What was that, Josh?
Oh, what if it is?
What if it is? She's just gonna kind of she'll have her keyblade in one hand, but just kind of like down to the side, like ready there if she needs it, but not like in a ready or like threatening stance. And she's just gonna kind of like wrap her fist on the door frame,
Damn it.
just to like get this thing's attention.
You get its attention
gotta-
immediately. And as soon as it notices you, it is going to lunge at you to attack.
All right, she is. She's striking with intent.
I gotta go take the dog out.
Okay.
So am I good? Is there anything else that is happening before that, or am I good to just roll?
You're going to just roll.
Right. That is 9 on the dice plus 1 is a 10. So I get to deal harm and choose 2.
All right.
And I think I'm going to defend myself from harm, and then I think deal great harm.
Alrighty. This Heartless barely puts up a fight, really. You've become so powerful that the things that took your world, you'd be able to stop them.
Ooh.
That's a
Oh.
really great thought for her to have. That's awesome. So you can see her kind of like very kind of start to sort of visibly plan it with them very quickly, kind of pushes it aside. It's like, either that thing was not her brother and it just unrelated, he's hopefully okay somewhere, or it was and now he is at peace. And this definitely she's definitely not going to get bit in the ass by compartmentalizing this.
Oh, girl.
Girl,
Oh
no.
no.
Oh.
She does that, and then you see her. She then goes. She kind of looks around the room, and you can tell that it's. You can tell it's not really hers. There's one. It's kind of like neat and tidy, and it's got books and all sorts of like little kind of like model kits built like of different like vehicles. And you see her kind of like pick one up that's like a little like Mario style like airship kind of thing. She sort of like very gently. She's you can see she's maybe considering taking it, but like she figures it's just gonna if she like tries to like fight in a way to make sure it like doesn't break while it's on her person, it's just going to get in the way. So she kind of gingerly puts it back,
Oh.
and then she kind of meanders, pushes past everybody, not in a like get out of my way thing, but just because I assume y'all were kind of like behind her in the doorway, and so she just kind of scoots past and goes to the next room, which is a little less tidy. There's some stuff, various different little hobbies strewn about in various places, and you see her. She like picks up. There's a couple of you see her. She looks to her desk, and you see her. There's two different picture frames, and you see her. She kind of like looks over them, and then she very kind of quickly like just kind of takes like both of the pictures out delicately, kind of like folds them and then puts them away.
Oh.
Ah.
I don't think there's anything here.
Oh, doesn't seem like it. Or is there anything you want to do? You know, maybe to pay respects for your world, or you don't want to be here anymore?
Let's just go.
Out of character, I'm back. What happened?
Just emotional
Sad.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laramie said.
Was it her brother?
No.
We
No,
don't
no,
know.
Okay.
no. But she did pick up
Well-
some photos.
Oh, fuck.
She kind of leads everybody back down. She kind of, and you see you kind of like step out and kind of get to the sort of like the main plaza kind of this part. You get like it's still a little ways away. There's like a good view of the castle, and she kind of like very visibly kind of like considers going that way, but she's kind of already been able to clock, and anything that might have been here is gone now. So there's not really any point in hurting herself further.
Can I do something?
Mm.
What do you want to do?
I was just gonna say, Venry kind of goes up to her and kind of like he looks very awkward, as if comforting people is not his like expertise, but he kind of like gently reaches out and gives her like 2 pats on the shoulder.
She kind of like doesn't like brush it off or anything, but she kind of like just kind of like gives it the like sort of barest acknowledgement, like just kind of like just like a kind of look to the side and kind of like a little like half-hearted little kind of like half smile. Like she
And he just kinda
appreciates it,
nods.
but she's got stuff to do.
Mhm.
He just kind of nods in response.
Yeah. And you can also see there was a little detail that I forgot to point out is that there's also some of the like destruction um like doesn't look specifically like it happened because of like like the world getting like sucked into the darkness. There are some like a couple of like busted up airships that are like strewn about, so you can tell like there was little something was happening at the time that made stuff a little more complicated.
I see.
Mm.
It should have been just another routine bad guy thwarting, but oopsie.
Oopsie.
Mm.
Yeah. As you make your way through and past to the next section of your journey, you see a lot of the next kingdom has been overgrown by. The best way to describe them is like gummy shapes. They're just. It's mostly just uh, blocks of color that have overgrown and taken over just large segments of this island. Who wants to go next? I would suggest either Flora or Lance.
For who?
Flora or Lance next.
I can go, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
go ahead.
Okay. Um. So could you describe again what's the?
Uh, a large section of this one has been taken over by gummy shapes, where it's like kind of decayed into just these colored blocks. It's obviously been here the longest.
So I think she's just kind of. I think first she goes and like kind of inspects the gummy pieces. It is just kind of it is like um. And I think she sees it and she doesn't like recognize them, but she gets this like feeling of deja vu, like she's seen them before. Or at least she recognizes like what they are in a sense. And I think as she's like walking along this path leading to like the next area, uh she is just uh trying to like figure out like basically what it means. And I think like everyone else can see that like she looks like she's deep in thought about something, which is maybe a little bit worrying given everything.
Mm.
Mhm.
Um, is there anything like widely recognizable, or are we still just along the way?
Um, well, I'm leaving these parts mostly up to you guys, because like these are your worlds that we're going to.
Okay, okay. So I think as everyone is like walking along the path, like I imagine it's starts out as like a little bit of like a goes from almost like a coast kind of beach to what feels almost like a like a garden to then uh as at some point they arrive at what looks like the a stump of a tree, and by the time they've gotten to this point, even though like where they are feels like a place that should be outside, they are surrounded by a wall of gummy matter like around them as if they're in a cave. So they see like what looks like almost like a tree trunk, but it has been carved with just a wide variety of symbols. And it at the front is a door that is in the moment closed and locked. And I think Flora's going to like basically go up, kind of put her hand to the door. And as she does, the what was before the tree trunk kind of shape then transforms into the door leading inside, and the area around them kind of transforms into a balcony looking over a beach. And like this is happening as she touches it, so it seems like she is like single-mindedly focused on doing something while the world is like changing around her. And if you looked up above, you would see basically you would realize you are at the top of like a large tower that starts out at the base a tree, and you can kind of see little bits where there's branches, but then as it rises you start seeing it being the rest of the tower being made of like stone that leads up. And if you look all the way up, you can see at the top of the tower is what basically looks almost like a lighthouse section, where there's this big ball of light, but or at least you can tell that it's supposed to be there, but instead there is just nothing, like a void where there should be something. And does anyone want to like say or do something before Flora like heads inside?
I think Eld is keeping close behind her, but he's letting her do this by herself.
Okay, then she opens this door basically back into this tower. That again, I basically describe it as a lighthouse mixed with a wizard's tower that is like growing out of a tree. Like it looks like the tree and the tower are one and the same almost. But yeah, she enters inside the room, or she puts her hand to the door again, like opens it, and instead of like directly walking inside, the place you are in has like once again changed into being a basically what looks like a library surrounding an arena. Like up at the top where say you would normally imagine like seats and stuff is like a big library. But down in the center is basically like training grounds. And down there you see a couple different just various different animal children practicing their keyblade. And especially
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Oh, sorry.
There are instead of that, like you see the ghosts of that for a second, and then you see the other half of Flora that split off. Sorry, I don't mean to take away your dramatic moment.
No, it is fine. Yeah.
There are no people here other than the people that have been brought here.
That's what I was gonna get at. It's like, yeah, they're not really there. I guess what I'm trying to put is like the idea of like this is at the end of the day like some kind of illusion or something.
Okay.
Josh, I sent you a DM.
Okay, thank you.
Like talking under the table. Thank
okay.
you. Yeah.
but basically you see, I guess, yeah, you see kind of flickering between the illusions of people that are there and basically, yeah, the dark side of Flora kind of taking the place of all of them in some instances. Uh, uh, and then in a certain spot, uh, you see two little rabbits who are practicing with each other. Um, and as this is going, and then kind of you can't really hear anything. You don't hear any voices, but you get the idea that as they're fighting, they are arguing with each other about something. And the fight is starting to go from like a simple practice session to like an actual fight. And as soon as one of them like knocks the keyblade out of the other's hand, you suddenly the first sound you have heard is like a ringing of a bell, and suddenly everything fades to darkness. Uh, and Josh, if you would at least like to help me describe the fall of this world through Flora's memories.
Are we all seeing this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of is my idea.
Mhm.
Oh.
Or at least what should I kind of go for with like a world falling to darkness in this instance?
Well, the way I described it when the library fell was that it was kind of disintegrating. I think for this world, it's more like everything losing its color, everything draining slowly before turning to ash and dust.
Yeah. I think as like Flora starts like it before it was basically like going from room to room, like as if kind of like vague memories. This is intense. Flora is actively chasing after the other two rabbits that at this point are like running down the stairs of this tower to try to get outside. Um there is the only thing, like, you can hear something outside climbing the tower. Um, and, like, as you finally, all of you get to the bottom, and start, get outside the tower, you see, you see a giant, Heartless, basically one of the big guys, at the top of the tower, basically trying to smash whatever is protecting the orb of light at the top of the tower. And as it finally breaks through, you suddenly see that protection shatter, and then everything goes white. Uh, like just a flash of light as you not as you see like the tower crumbling down as the color drains from this
Be
world,
right back. I gotta feed the dog.
and as the people in it are basically just wiped from it, like wiped from existence. And while this is happening, the one thing you can see in just this flash of white is the two rabbits desperately holding on to each other, um, trying desperately to use their keyblades to escape. And as you see that flash of light like end, you see them finally successfully open a gate, uh, and everything just once again turns black. And you are now suddenly just standing on a platform floating in the darkness, uh, with nothing. But like vague, like gummy shapes floating around you, made of different pieces and covered with the different various symbols that were carved into the tree. And if you'd like to describe if there's anything waiting for us in the dark, that would be the time. Because I am basically done explaining what just happened to Flora's world effectively. And I think the only other person there on this base is, the dark half of Flora just standing there staring out into the darkness.
Yeah, the dark half of Flora is here.
Mm-hmm.
So what I kind of intended this space to be is for like a confrontation between the two halves of Flora.
Mm-hmm.
And then you took off sprinting and it was wonderful, but I don't know how to get back to that now.
Sorry. I mean, basic idea was this space was being basically kind of altered and created by the dark half of Flora's memories.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Uh-huh. There really wouldn't be much left of the tower because technically their world didn't actually fall.
Technically.
It's still around as the Disney world.
It's a very different sort of world where, like, yeah, it didn't technically fall, but it's still... Darkness happened in a strange way to it.
Okay, I'm back.
Mm-hmm. And the world protected itself by basically destroying itself.
Yeah.
The only two people to survive were Lily and Nilla, holding each other tight and basically trying desperately to escape the world and just kind of ending up nowhere. Literally nowhere. And ending up fused into the same body. And I think Flora's going to walk up to her dark half. It basically, I guess, just put a hand on her shoulder.
As soon as you get close enough to do so, she kind of twirls around and, like, points her keyblade at you. And she says, I think you know what we have to do.
I think she pulls out her, and then Flora pulls out her keyblade as well.
Oh, wait. Do we have to fight?
Well,
I think...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think as you ask that... Well, okay, Josh, how should I play this? Should I play it as fucking one-on-one duel, or is everyone part of this?
I was assuming 1-1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one-on-one.
So I was gonna say, I think what happens is you say that you try to, like, run forward, and then, like, a dome of that gummy material just surrounds them.
I see.
It's very much Kingdom Hearts 1 versus Riku, where there's a barrier and your friends can't help.
Okay, so let's start making rolls. Okay. So I'm guessing I'm going first then?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, really quick before we get into like the nitty gritty serious thing, I did when you specifically compared it to the Riku fight, I did specifically the first thing my brain did was in goofy voice, Flora.
Yeah.
Shut up!
Like,
You
Flora,
can't say
you
that.
get it, you understand, you get it.
You get it, you
Right.
understand.
Anyway, return to the emotional climactic battle with all
Yeah.
herself.
So I'm going to... Okay, so I rolled a 10 base plus mastery is 3, so 13.
What are you doing? Striking with a tent?
Strike to subdue at first.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Uh,
And you said that was a 10?
13
13. Oh,
fully.
big.
10 for the
Jesus.
dice roll, 13 with the
With the bonuses.
mastery
Yeah.
added. Yeah.
All right. You can make some choices.
Mm-hmm.
Take something, force a change of location, de-escalate, or attempt to de-escalate.
Mm-hmm. Uh, basically, I want to try to do a uh, uh, force a change of location and try to de-escalate the situation, pretty much.
Okay.
Uh, so basically, what I described is kind of is almost as if like because at this point, I think you can't see through the or you can only kind of see through the gummy wall, um, but you could like hear what's happening in there like with perfect clarity is my vision. Uh, um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and you hear them basically having that like same argument that Lily and Nilla were having specifically arguing like you would assume oh siblings fighting maybe it's just about who's better whatever and you start hearing them fighting and it kind of uh basically it starts going from maybe just them like roughhousing a little bit to them starting to like actually get mad at each other and start kind of bringing up like stuff about how like uh you know Nilla doesn't take this as seriously as Lily does, despite the fact that Lily puts in more work into this. And Nilla starts talking about uh, how Lily pretty much just does not let Nilla like have anything to herself. And as it starts fighting, you hear the clashing of keyblades, and every time you hear the strike of a keyblade, basically you hear it as if like you hear the bell ringing, um, and it's going as if that conversation is happening through them, and then suddenly it is back to the two versions of Flora talking with each other, and Flora's just kind of saying, "Look, we can go through this memory over and over again, like we always do, or we can stop this." Uh, and so basically, she is trying to kind of grab the Keyblade uh, out of the Darkness's hand. Um, and as she touches the Keyblade, um, at least what is happening inside the dome uh, kind of changes to look like uh, a corner of the library where they are like fighting. Uh, so I guess does that work? Does that de-escalate the situation, or is Dark Forest still fucking going at it?
That is a very good attempt at de-escalating the situation.
Mm-hmm. So what does she do?
She is going to... Let me figure out how I'm going to do this. So, you took her Keyblade.
Well, try to,
I'm going to say you did.
at the very least.
I'm going to say you
Okay,
did.
okay.
What she is going to do is she is going to say... hold on, I'm trying to find Flora's voice. You'd think doing this for 2 years I'd have her voice. She's going to say, it doesn't matter how many times we replay the conversation. It's never going to change. But that doesn't mean that we can't change something else now. And then she is going to roll cast magic. What is your mastery?
My mastery is 3.
All right. She is going to cause 1 harm to you with a
Okay.
fire attack.
Okay.
You both have 1 harm.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I have 3, but...
No, it reset. It reset at the start of the world.
Oh, did it? Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
when
Yeah,
you got the orb of light, it all reset. You
I
got
see,
full
I see,
healed.
I see. I see. Give me a second to color the square in.
Flora dies a 3rd time.
Woo!
No!
One more time.
We can't keep doing this.
Mhm.
It's her favorite activity.
Local rabbit can't catch a fucking break.
I am for a little bit forever thinking about the one art you did, Stormy. I think it was Stormy, of the little cartoon Flora, just the goofy look on her face with her like hands falling off and Laramie
God.
being very distressed.
Uh-huh.
One of the best things I think I've ever drawn.
Uh-huh.
Definitely a good thing that you've made.
So yeah, I think the fire kind of like knocks her to the ground, like as she's hit by it. And you see, and then like you kind of hear. Basically, it kind of goes back to Flora, or it goes back to like Lily and Nilla arguing, and you kind of hear them talk about like, "Come on, that wasn't fair. I thought we were fighting with keyblades, not magic." And it kind of goes, "Well, you'd be better at magic if you took everything more seriously." And then you kind of see that like one of the siblings has then like kind of gone like jumped back forward and like kind of is on top of the other. Uh with the with both keyblades. And then I think it kind of switches back to Flora, and she's basically just going, "Ugh, look, do you... I know we can change stuff. I know, but why do we have to keep running through the same thing over again? Why do we have to keep repeating our mistakes? Why do we have to keep fighting with the ones we care about? If it just leads to this." And I think this time she is going to, at the very least, because it's clear that the other Flora isn't playing around, going to roll with a strike with intent. And that's a... Okay, so that's a 6 on just the roll, plus dart, right?
Yes.
So that's a 9, I think?
Ooh.
Wait, no, so 3 with just the stat, then with the link, then 1 from the, what I've added to it, so that's 4. So then, plus troubling memory, so that's an 11, okay.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That means you can do 2. Protect yourself, deal great harm, or take control.
I'm going to do a, defend yourself from harm, and, deal great harm.
All right.
And kind of the way I picture it is like the uh, Dark Flora basically grabs her Keyblade back, uh, uh, pushes Flora like back up, and tries to like strike her back. Uh, and Flora blocks it and then manages to like actually like hit. Uh,
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
mm-hmm.
All right. So, what Dark Flora is going to say now is, uh, could you remind me of the last thing that Flora said to her?
Basically talking about like what's the point of going through all of this again, of repeating all of our mistakes if it's just kind of lead to what's going on right now. Both kind of talking about what happened to their world, but also kind of the current state of Flora's relationships with the people they care about.
Right. She's going to say, "We'll stop running through this if you just forgive yourself and talk to other people about it already. You know you have to do that. Why won't you?"
And then I think it's going to be. I think Dark Force is gonna say this, and it's going to be. You hear the bell ringing again, uh, like it was in the memory, and then you see the like the gummy kind of space, kind of also like turn to color and break away into ash. In theory, they are back on that dark platform again. Uh, and Flora is going to once again uh roll uh with intent. And let me roll that again. Okay, so that, oh Jesus, that's a 9 base roll.
Oh.
Ooh.
Keep rolling.
That's a 14.
Jesus Christ.
God damn, girly.
Uh-huh.
It's the end of the campaign. We're redeeming ourselves for all the terrible rolls earlier. Let's go.
Uh-huh.
You gotta remember, Ronnie, I'm next, so I'll make up for it.
And so I think it's just going to be a. I know did a big roll, but I'm just gonna choose one.
That's fine. You're allowed.
I think it's just going to be a deal great harm, and I think as she's going to just like once again just kind of strike at the other Flora, like with like as if like kind of just anger, like not only angrily but just so full of emotion that she's not being like practical. Her swings aren't like this does not look like someone who has trained with the Keyblade for most of their life. In this moment, and I think you just hear her just start yelling. It's because I don't want to have to deal with and remember just the fact that they are gone. I don't want to have to deal with the fact that I have to go on without them, that we have to go on without them. And it's because it's not just like we lost a friend or a family member. And I mean, they are that. They are that. They were a part of us. We were all together. And now it's just me and I guess you. and that's where you see her just start like just starts just trying to wail on the Dark Flora, who is like able to block, but is just like trying to hold her own against this volley of strikes.
And as Flora just keeps wailing and wailing upon her, she eventually just kind of sighs and looks back to Eld and then to you. It's like, you'll get there eventually. And then she
Eld is on the
vanishes.
outside of the. Oh.
No, the bubble broke away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Previously, Eld was on the outside of the gummy wall, like, not really desperately trying to get in because, like, alright, I kind of gotta let her do this. This isn't something I can do. But he is, like, kicking the side of it in the way that you would, like, kick a washing machine that's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Just so he knows, just so it knows he's upset with that.
Uh-huh.
Getting his message across. He's being really careful because he is still wearing flip-flops.
My boy put on some practical shoes.
He hasn't been wearing shoes this entire time.
No exposed
God.
toes. That's a safety risk, you dumb child.
You're not allowed in a lab ever.
Yeah,
Laird,
he's practically sleepwalking most of the time. Don't let him in a lab anyway. Shoes notwithstanding.
You can't
Laramie
operate
gives him
a forklift.
Laramie gives him some hand-me-down steel-toed boots for his birthday.
Hell yeah.
They're so much heavier than his flip-flops. He's struggling to walk for a few days.
Yeah, Flora doesn't get the satisfaction of a resolution yet. She's not ready for it, but there's a part of her that knows one day she will be.
Everything is just too soon.
I think
Too recent.
in the aftermath, Elda's kind of gonna jog forward and like put a hand on her shoulder. You all right?
And she wants to make a joke, like I think you hear her start like trying to be like, oh, do I look like I'm alright? But like as she starts to get the words out, you hear her voice just kind of crackle,
Oh.
like just like the word, whatever smartass remark she was trying to make just kind of faded in her throat.
Oh. Elda's gonna pull her in for a hug.
Wow.
So the dark bit of Flora has gone back to her. Yay!
Yay!
Yep.
Let's see, I would say this probably ends her section for now.
Yeah. Yeah. Flora's gonna have to work on her issues in the sequel.
Uh-huh.
She'll be fine, don't worry about her. Nothing bad ever happens to Babbitts.
Nothing bad ever happens to Babbitts, you say, to the Babbit who has had everything bad happen to her.
Anything that could happen to a Babbit has happened to
I
a
feel
Babbit.
like rabbits are a famously maligned animal.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
The only animal to truly experience Murphy's Law.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's your special trick, don't worry about it. I want you to know Oh, sorry.
No, you
Please
go ahead.
continue. I was gonna make a joke.
You make your joke.
Every time I say nothing bad ever happens to the Babbitts, I'm imagining that doodle, like that emote, like that's in our Discord right now, the little doodle, being flattened by a truck.
Oh god.
Road pancake every time.
Good night, Mama.
Oh,
Sorry, I had to say goodnight to my mama. I didn't have time to mute.
That's
No,
fine.
Okay, I think that's good.
You know how it is with mama.
We
Yeah.
do know how it is.
The one thing I will say is like even after like the barrier broke and everything, like the whole entire time this was happening, Freddie was just kind of standing there, arms crossed, silently, like, yeah, no, you just kind of just have to let her beat herself over this,
Uh-huh.
quite literally.
Yeah.
Uh,
And even
Yeah.
after the barrier breaks, he's still kind of standing as if it's still blocking him, and uh, just contemplating everything that was just said between them.
mhm.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
hey,
up?
Flora, you alright?
I think you just kind of hear a whimper.
Oh,
Do you want a hug or something?
she's already hugging her brother.
Yeah,
Oh.
Eld's
They
already
have
with
been
her.
embraced for like a minute.
Oh.
We just gotta keep walking.
Gotta
You want a
keep
group
on
hug?
schmoving. Keep on
Mhm.
schmoving on.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we go with Flora. Flora's got
Yeah.
a lot of shit to work through,
Also,
but
yeah,
it's slightly
part of
better.
part of what made specifically those dark rolls so big is because of the link move I made, which is very specifically
Mhm.
troubling memory. Would remind of a traumatic or upsetting memory, location, or person during a stressful situation. Gain +1 to dark until the situation goes away.
Yay!
Yay!
So a +4 became a +5.
Woo!
Sweet.
So technically a +4 is the maximum, but you still would have like nailed all of those anyway.
Oh, right,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Just this once.
Yeah,
Just this.
you're allowed to go a little bit ape shit over that, I think.
Mhm.
For the
Yeah.
sake of thematic resolution.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Thank you, Josh, for giving me the fucking Roxas fight.
Thank you.
Oh.
I thought it would be good for you. Question
It
mark.
was. Also,
Margaret.
fucking big brain at, like, specifically implementing the idea of, like, yeah, as the world is, like, falling to darkness and as the, like, basically, as the world is trying to blow itself up, basically, to at least protect the core, the world, like, fading to, like, grayscale black and white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's Timeless River.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Oh.
Which is, like, yeah, why I was trying to be, like, very specific about the fact that, like, there wouldn't be really parts of her world there. There would just be parts of, like, the tower. But even then, those wouldn't really be there in any significant sense.
Yeah.
Because it didn't get dragged into the darkness, it just kind of... The world blew itself up, and the reason it's here is because of Flora's memories. It is a place that quite literally wiped itself from existence, so it couldn't fall to darkness.
Yeah.
Because it was a world that kind of was a beacon of light.
So as you guys are moving on past this area and saying that like you guys maybe went 2 feet, none of that was real. None of that was anything. You're just kind of surrounded by gummy pieces. You get into something of a little bit of a clearing in this heavily corrupted part of the world. It's Lance's turn.
Oh, yippee.
Yuppie!
I like how everyone, like,
Hmm?
how am I supposed to follow up, like, the fucking essay Katie gave us for a description? How am I meant to follow up with that?
You're supposed to do your best, and I will help.
Okay, fair enough. Uh, okay, so, like, entering in, like, any, because I imagine, like, whatever texture the ground had in, like, Flora's memories of her world just kind of like just quickly subside into like very like this deep red sand that's just suddenly just like in every direction. And ahead is just this town that not even a town, it's barely a village. It's like a few major buildings and like a handful of like what I can only describe as like middle housing, which is essentially these like buildings or houses that hold like multiple families at a time. Like it's a very compact area that like at a point had a lot of traffic going through, but you have like the buildings all look like they're at least 100 years old, you know. Very much these have always been here, but there is damage to a lot of it. Like so many of the buildings either have like damaged roofs or like the walls are just completely decimated. It's like not really an area anyone can subsist in, but there
Do you mean
is
subsided?
subside, sorry.
It's all right.
Thank you. I saw those words a lot. It's not really a place that anyone can subside in, but with all the different holes and like damage to the buildings, there's also like little bits of fresh lumber poking through half nailed up walls that were functional but crumbled back underneath because there was no support beams. And all Lance can really do is just walk to the center of it all. Because in this middle of all these buildings, there is a single space where an uprooted tree was. And all they can really help to do in that one moment of seeing all this again is to walk into the space where the tree was uprooted. All that's left is like the actual roots of the tree poking out of the ground of like this single patch of actual ground, like dirt that's here. The only spot like that for as far as the eye can fucking see. And they just sit down for a second and they just kind of take in the sound and the smell of like this the dirt that's still somehow damp after all this time. And essentially, this was the spot that they were ripped out of their home from.
Oh.
This used to be a single tree that they had planted when the world was destroyed the first time. When people and powers that were far beyond the Mughals could ever fathom took everything away. When they started building everything back, they had planted a single tree. They had brought in a bunch of dirt that some of the former farmers had, some of the soil, and it was a sign of new beginnings. They built a town around the singular plot of land, and every day they would spend a little bit of their drinking water to make sure that the tree was able to grow, because they knew that when enough time passed, as long as they were there, eventually this place would be nice and shaded and cool so that anyone who came through wouldn't have to worry about burning in the sun. There wasn't a lot to go around, but they were able to make room for everyone who was left behind after the first calamity. And they all lived here for decades. They built a town for themselves. They built a home here. And even though they were under constant hunting from those who wanted to take what magic they still had, they survived, they grew, and they were able to have the space that was only theirs. And at a point, there was a Moogle who was barely in his 20s that lived with a few of his friends in one of these houses that was already pact with 2 other families, but they had their own space. And even though he wasn't happy with his life, he was happy to be there. He had a lot of bad things happen, a lot of stuff that made his life very stressful and hard to live. But because his friends cared about him, and because the people who had built this town cared about those that were going to come after them, he was able to make a job as a mailman. And every day, because the town wasn't big, they didn't need that many. So Lance would go to every house and he would pick up any letters. They didn't really need to mail out anything, but sometimes it's just nice to make something to give to someone else. And that was their whole job. They would go around, they would pick up and drop off any letters, and they would do that every day, even on their day off, because it was the only thing that brought them real joy. Then one day, one of the oldest Mughals in the entire town had an awful nightmare. And in the spur of the moment, and using a bit of magic, put a blessing on one random mailman that was just at the front door that time. And less than a week later, everyone suddenly vanished. Except for that one mailman. And that was the day that that tree was uprooted, that the houses were damaged in a storm, and that no one came back here. And the only thing the mailman can remember is grabbing onto that tree after not being able to find anyone and suddenly just flying through the sky, clutching onto this tree and waking up next to a library with twisted in the bramble of this tree. And that's all that Lance can remember. And they just sit there.
Jesus fuck. I'm gonna sob.
This is my awesome mailman. What do you guys think?
Awesome mailman that I love so much.
Nothing bad has ever happened. Look, I made the comment at the first session I was in, that Lance doesn't have trauma. And that's
Yes.
because on the
Sure
day that
thing.
everyone disappeared, technically only Lance was gone. Because that was when they lost their individuality.
Yay.
So, as you're kind of sitting here, sitting underneath what's left of this tree, reminiscing, a mailbox pops up from the ground.
What the fuck? Sorry.
Do you have
All
any
right, then.
letters?
Oh, you can't ask that. Lance does this. For one last time, Lance will do their job. They will. I don't like. They are going to open up the letter bag that they have kept so close to themselves this entire time, and they are going to one by one flip through every single undelivered letter and make sure that it's all nicely packed within that mailbox. Because that's their last job that they were supposed to be doing that day. Because no one was out to get their mail.
Great.
Yay.
Oh no.
Nothing bad ever happens.
Nothing
Nothing bad ever happened.
Nothing will happen.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's all good. It's all fine. We don't talk about the fact that they're the worst idea I had that I was gonna mentioned, but I'm like, I don't know how that would still be there. But I keep thinking about it. Just like multiple like shoe prints in the sand that just don't go away when the wind blows. Because they're always going to be there. Because this was their home too.
Oh.
Oh,
Mm.
listen, this
I
is
was gonna.
this isn't a real place. You can do whatever you want forever. I'm gonna say that's real.
Oh.
Mhm.
I was also.
Oh.
Gordon, give the
I was
lance
gonna
plushie a
ask.
squeeze for me, please.
What? Ooh, I made everyone
I was
cry.
gonna ask.
Yippee!
Yay!
Yay!
That's how we do it, baby.
I want you to know, I blacked out and I was like, I'm just gonna, like, this is all real. I can finally word things. I'm gonna fucking word things.
Oh.
But yeah, that's the cool shit about Lance is that they had roommates that they cared about. Lance doesn't have a family anymore. They even when they were around, they still didn't. They only had those roommates that were their friends that they had held on to for years.
Mhm.
Oh.
That
I
Moogle
was
was
gonna.
fucking alone.
I was gonna ask if you know if it was okay with Lance. Like obviously they're taking their time, to do their final delivery. Is as they're doing this, like if like the rest of us just because you're sitting on the ground, right?
Well, I imagine Lance, stood up and like dusted the sand off their shorts.
Hmm.
You know, they can't be covered in dirt when they're on the clock.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
then,
you are pristine.
yeah, like, they were standing up when they like packed all those letters in there. Because you gotta remember, thing I mentioned earlier, they have one letter for each person in that town, and there was nearly 100 people.
Yeah,
Yay!
that's so.
So yeah.
What I wanted to ask is like if it's okay with Lance, you know, obviously you will be. I feel like you doing the actual delivering is very vitally important, but like the rest of us in very silently help you out with the delivery. So like in a sense, we're like, yeah, you talked about how like this guy doesn't have anyone left. He has no commute. Basically, he lost his community in like a day, and just
Mhm.
this final act to your community, doing it with like I guess your new community
I
of
I think I'd be
of
okay.
six.
I think I'd be okay with the idea of Lance starting to pull out the letters and for the first time actually having the letter bag all the way open, and you can see that this thing like, even though it's looked like empty for the most time y'all have been together, having the flap open, it like balloons a little bit, and you can see how many there really were in there.
Hmm.
Cause yeah, yeah, I think as long like I think it'd be okay with like everyone like pitching in to help like organize it by like name to make sure like because
Mhm.
Lance is organized,
Hmm.
wants to make sure that like it's all set up by like address and everything.
Oh, that's very nice of him. I would definitely help Lance.
Mhm.
Yeah, you let us. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's sweet. I think the idea of everyone helping Lance get this last delivery in, I think that's beautiful.
Mhm.
I'm going to fucking
Oh.
explode.
Oh,
Yay!
like, rest assured, the second, like, anyone finds an envelope that's meant to go to Lance's house, yeah, no, that Moogle's, like, trying so hard not to tear up.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Hi,
Benry
Ford.
again.
Welcome back. You just
Yay! Ford is
emotions.
here.
Just in
Yay!
time.
Yippee!
Just in time.
Benry once again kind of awkwardly goes up and just pets his shoulder a little bit.
Please don't touch me right now, Benry Kupo.
Sorry.
It's like, Lance is very sensitive because you gotta also remember, because Lance has like pretty much the spirits of everyone in town. It's very frantic in their heart right now, but in the best of
Oh.
ways. Like everyone's getting their mail again. It's been so long.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Are you gonna be alright?
Gonna need a little bit, Kupo, but I'll be okay.
Alright.
I look forward to yelling at chat.
Hold on, I'm not looking at chat. What are they saying? I gotta.
They're just saying
Number
number
one
one Lance fan.
fan.
God, but yeah. Oh.
Katie, there's some clicking and clacking coming from you.
Katie,
Oh,
the
that might
machines.
be the washing machine.
It
Yeah.
Yeah, that
is.
sounds that is the
That
tell
sounds like a
signs of
washing machine.
Ah, I see.
Washing machine.
Oh, do I need to mute?
Oh,
I think it's all right.
Okay, okay.
yeah.
It's just the sound of Lance's wings flapping for
God.
He's really putting his back into
Listen, there's
it.
a lot of letters in this shit.
There's a lot of letters in there.
Like, oh. Yeah, I have I like zeroed out in my mind that it's like if Lance did try to like go through and like point out like where everyone used to live and like what all the buildings used to be, then like the people who used to be there would probably for the first time be like speaking through him. Like instead of like
Oh.
residing within him, use him as a mouthpiece for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So you would absolutely hear Lance like shifting between sounding like a very old woman and a little boy. It's like, this is all they had. This was all the Mughals that remained.
Oh.
They're just gone.
They're just gone.
And now it's just them. Now it's just Lance. Nothing bad ever happens. I made a doodle. I was gonna wait until like after stream because I thought it was stupid and it was gonna derail. But I think now it works because I literally finished it the second we were done with Flora. I got the last brush stroke and then it was like Lance's turn. Awesome.
Awesome.
Where is it?
I just sent
Is it okay if I show this on
Yeah,
stream?
go right ahead. I think chat needs to see this one. God. Put a fucking devil reaction on that.
I'll also Benny react.
I hope I don't have to relive the trauma of my individual erasure today.
That's just gonna live here
Wait,
for a bit.
he's a hive mind?
Yeah, we
Yes!
went over this.
Oh!
Mhm. Yeah.
We
It's
learned
been a
this
thing
in
for like a
Sherlock
year.
World.
It's on his
I'm
feet.
just inattentive, apparently.
Yeah, it's.
God. But yeah! Yippee! My Moogle got to go home! And it's not gonna follow them forever.
Yeah.
Lance feels better. A lot of like weight that was on their shoulders and their heart it's not gone, but it's got a lot lighter.
It's a lot easier to carry when you have less letters to carry.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Lance is keeping the few that were from his roommates, so addressed to him.
Yeah.
Those stay in. Those already reached their destination.
Mm-hmm. So I
Like
think
that. Yeah.
I think I would
that's all.
like to keep Freddy's for second to last before we go to the library. So do we want to do Benry or Eld next?
You can do mine if you want.
Alright.
All right.
Yeah.
Ford, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
What the fuck do you mean by that? Horton, you're the who moment?
I think I understand.
I do too. It doesn't mean I'm happy.
You
Note to self: explode my husband.
Alright. So, as you continue moving through this desert and it eventually fades back into normal, what you'd expect from the Zen part of this amalgam of worlds, you notice it looks like a teleporter. It seems to still be working. It's kind of whirling gently, and there's a strange orange glow.
Oh.
It is now Toby's
Oh.
turn to lead us and describe what's on the other side of that teleporter, bud.
Barry goes up to the teleporter and is like, oh, neat. Geronimo, and just leaps into it. And the second you're through, after a bright flash of light, I did not have this written down, so I'm just gonna...
Let's stretch
Go.
your improv skills, bud.
Oh boy! So we appear in like a hallway. It's like white walls. Should it be before or after the resonance cascade?
After.
Okay. Everything looks a little bit fucked up. Everything's a little broken. But it's white walls. It has the feeling of like being underground, like deep underground, and it's like the floor is floor.
Would you like me to
Sorry,
take over describing Black Mesa for you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. So, the hallways are cold and dark. The flickering of the lights is just so that you know that something has gone terribly wrong here. It looks in the midst of an attack, not only from the Heartless, but from something else, something incredibly alien to you. Lining the walls, there are offices that are just completely trashed. There's broken glass, broken computers. You can hear the PA system crackling every so often, as if it's still trying to give announcements. I think that's about all for a good description of it, I think.
Yeah.
Going back to you.
As soon as Benry takes a second to look around, like, he goes, like, tense. Like, tense. Like, you've never seen him go this tense before. His tail is completely puffed up. His ears are flattened against his helmet. And he's, like, sort of maybe shaking a little bit. He's like, no. Not here.
Katie, I'm having a hard time hearing Toby over your washing machine, so either he needs to speak up or you gotta mute. I'm sorry.
He's like, no, not here. He's like almost vibrating with how freaked out he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so is this where I tell his backstory, or?
Yeah, but keep it a little bit brief. We are running a little short on time.
Oh yeah. So so basically, as a kid, he was like the last of his kind. He was like living free on Zen, mimicking the animals there, and then just being Bennery and hunting and stuff. And then Black Mesa decided to like knock down the dimensional door. That's stupid.
No, no, that's not stupid. Don't say it's stupid. You're doing good.
Yeah, they bust that door open and they kind of like started taking specimens. And he was like on the sidelines watching for a hot moment, like as a child. And then they caught him, and he was taken, experimented on to hell and back. Like trauma, 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 trauma.
Okay.
And sorry, and then he eventually got out of there, but then the resonance cascade happened. Like he got out, started impersonating a guard, and then the resonance cascade happened, and he hasn't been back here since. And he was in the he was in Black Mesa for a long time. That's why he said he hadn't been to Zen since he was a child. It's been a long time that he was in this place.
I see.
So he's like tail puffed up, ears flat against his head, like frozen. No. No, not here. No. No. No.
The only way out is through.
Hey, buddy, come on.
As soon as someone Oh,
No,
you were
no,
gonna
you
do
go.
something? No, if you're
No.
gonna touch, if you're gonna say, if as soon as someone says something or moves, he bolts in a blind panic. Just boom.
Laramie's gonna go start following him because they needed to not split up.
Yeah,
Which
we
is
should probably
No.
get that cat.
very bold words, given how the session started out, but
Yeah, big talk coming from you, but it's a bit different chasing a woman than it is a wild cat.
Also, yeah, just considering the environment that we are in now with everything just destroyed. No, yeah.
Yeah, I brought this up to Josh that
Yeah.
that I might do this. So
Yeah.
yeah, so he like is darting around the halls, just trying to find an exit.
All the doors are locked. There's no way to get into the separate rooms. The one way that is open is into one of those specimen rooms with the big old lasers at the top of them.
He like darts in without thinking. And then oh, were you gonna say something, Josh?
No,
Oh,
you're
and
leading this.
then,
Keep going.
yeah, he like darts in without thinking. Is this like a dead end room or?
This is the way out. However, it is like this is like the room he was kept in as a child. Was my intention.
Yeah. He darts into the room. and then freezes in place. He's like on all fours at this point. He's like, and then there is a small little cubby like into the corner, like in the wall, and he like squeezes his entire body into it. Like a child would have a hard time fitting into it, and he just jams himself in. He's just shaking. Full panic mode.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, the only way you're going to be getting out of here is in the control room. You can see one of those bright orange little Cheeto puffs that you know teleports you out. However, it does mean you have to go past, all of the equipment. And I suppose it's going to be everybody's job to get you out of here. Unless you can find the mental fortitude to do it yourself.
Yeah, people are gonna have to talk to him.
Yeah, buddy, I recognize you're probably going through a lot of stress right now, but we don't really know anything about this place. The sooner we get you out of here, the sooner we will start to feel better, but we need your help to do that.
This is where
Speak up, we can't hear you.
this is where where they kept me.
All the more reason to get out of here.
You're not trapped by them anymore. You're free. You can go wherever you want.
You're one of the most powerful people I know. I think even if they wanted to, they wouldn't be able to do anything at this point.
Yeah, you got out. Granted, you're kind of you got out once. You've managed so far, Kupo.
Yeah, I did.
Plus it's empty now, Kupo.
What if it's not though?
Then we'll deal with anything that tries to take you.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. He kind of like slowly like slinks out of his little cubby, just like very low to the ground. Just like looking around and like,
Well, the hard part's over, and now we just have to leave, Kupo.
yeah. And he tries to go up. He like climbs like the stairs to go up to where the Cheeto puff is. And he kind of balks at the machinery. It's very nasty looking machinery too.
Here's a suggestion. You have a big fuck off key. You could smash that if you wanted to.
Could beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, that'd be very therapeutic.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me find the GIF.
Oh no!
Time for another Roxas moment, but in the other way.
Yippee!
Yippee! There it is.
Oh my god! Nice.
Doesn't know how to use a computer.
God. 10 out of 10.
Roxas Kingdom Hearts break stuff AMV.
God.
He like kind of coaxes himself back into standing, looks around. To see if, I don't know, any cameras are around.
There's nothing
Yeah.
here. Nothing here.
Yeah. He kind of takes out his keyblade and pokes one of the machines, and when it doesn't do anything, he just starts fucking wailing on them.
Yeah,
And
destruction.
he is,
Oh yeah,
he
get it, boy.
is letting out like clicks and whistles and everything. Like, he is cursing a multitude of curse words in his own language.
Yeah, like we can't even understand it. It just sounds like bells and whistles for some reason. Like you sound like
Yes.
you're being censored on TV.
Laramie is also going to smash like a couple monitors out of solidarity.
For fun.
Yeah.
Silly.
Elle knocks over a
Let's
trash
fucking-
can.
Let's
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
like
Yeah!
that's like the most insane thing he's done in a while.
let's trash the fucking place. Like we're all going through our. Listen, if we're all gonna go through our trauma, we go through our trauma as a team.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Group
Frederick's
therapy.
Whoa!
Very effective group therapy.
Yes.
Mhm.
It works. If
Fenrir's
it works,
just, like,
it works.
whooping and hollering. And then when all is said and done, he like puts his keyblade away, re-chills himself, and is like, let's go. And then just kind of walks towards the Cheeto.
All right.
I'm sorry. The more you call it that, I'm like, what the fuck's he talking about? That I have to keep remembering.
I don't know what else to call them. They're little orange spheres just hovering that teleport you places.
Mhm.
Half-Life's a
I
weird
know.
fucking game.
I hate the
It
orbs,
is.
man. So like, insulting them is fair enough to me.
It's orb.
It's orb.
Orb.
I'm just.
Now you're thinking in orbs.
I love how anytime I try to like just calm my brain down, I immediately think of. I'm just imagining like. I don't know why I was gonna call the snake version of Benry Slinky Malinky ass motherfucker.
What is Slinky Malinky?
It is a children's book about a solid black cat that's very long and lanky that just kind of enjoys his life. But that's what we called my cat Milo, and he was incredibly long, and he would just slink around.
I'm
I
gonna
just,
look up this book right now.
I was just gonna say, Benry Slinky Malinky ass trying to go through the portal puzzle with all the different moving, like, walls and shit.
Oh, fuck. Don't make me think about that. That's gonna hurt my
I'm making you
brain.
think about it. It's a bad level design.
Mhm.
It's really bad level design.
That
Anyway.
that is a long cat.
Yeah, you see what I mean.
Uh, okay, I think we're gonna have time for Eld, and then we're going to have to hit Freddy next time, and then we'll have the boss fight after it. So
Yeah.
we're definitely gonna have to try to start a little bit earlier next time.
I'm really
Uh-huh.
sorry. I could have
No.
sworn it started at 6.
No, it's fine.
Oh, it's
You're
okay.
okay.
We're not upset or anything.
All
Yeah.
right.
We're all good.
Mhm.
I never watched Castle in the Sky, so I don't know what to do.
Just pastoral, like, beautiful countrysides, mostly.
I have had 2 years to watch this fucking movie. I
It's
haven't.
okay. Just blub it. Just go through. You can do
Just-
it.
I think it's
Cottagecore
it's this-
improv.
It's this beautiful cottage landscape, and it's idyllic. It looks, perfect. It's beautiful. It's exactly the sort of place you would want to grow up in. And Eld looks at it, and he doesn't feel anything in particular. And he doesn't like that very much. He knows instinctually that this was his hometown. That's the place where his teachers lived. His aunt lived on the street over there. And yet it doesn't bring any emotion along with it. It feels like some bits and pieces of his past have come back to him, but the context just isn't there anymore. And I think he wanders for a little bit, not lingering too hard. Until he gets to the place that he's pretty sure used to be where he lived growing up. Can't quite remember. Was it with his parents he lived? Was it with grandparents or someone else? And as he's puzzling through this in his head, trying to figure it out, he's entered the kitchen and he's fussing about, trying to look for anything that might jog some memory. And eventually he looks to the floor and he sees a little dog bowl on a little mat. And he picks it up, and it's this little ceramic bowl, and painted in child's handwriting. On the side, it reads breakfast. And he just kind of holds it for a second. You know, was this a dog he used to have? Is that why he named his Dream Eater breakfast? Was that something that he had somewhere in his memories that he just couldn't place? And for the first time since entering this place, he feels sad. Not because he feels like he's missing out on his memories, missing out on knowing what it is, but because he does remember something. He remembers missing someone a lot. And he goes into the cupboards and he finds a bag of kibble and he puts a handful in the bowl and he puts it back down and he leaves the house. There's nothing else here. We can go.
Okay, if you're sure.
This isn't my home.
That's somehow the saddest one yet.
Yeah, but
I'm
also
sorry.
It's sad. But
I
then
didn't
we
read
have to
anything because I forgot we were supposed to do this.
No. Your thing is
No,
like
that's
okay.
good.
The thing you
I'm
have,
glad.
the thing you got for Eld is like perfect because it kind of also reflects that like he has more of a home with the library, with
Yeah,
Adia, and with
he-
Flora.
At the end of the day, this isn't his home anymore. It's not where he grew up.
Yeah.
He was at the library from like age 7.
Yeah, it's like he's from here, but this isn't
Even
his
if
home.
if this place didn't get erased off of the map and he didn't forget it for dream reasons, he probably still wouldn't remember it very well. But there's this sense of nostalgia that you still can't kick, you know?
It's like when it's like when you're a really little kid. Like I know this isn't like a universal constant, but like when you imagine like a little kid, like less than 3 years old, living in a place, and then the family moves. The kid's from there, but the kid doesn't remember it.
Yeah.
You could put me in the apartment I grew up in as a baby. I don't fucking remember that place.
But there's still a bowl out for breakfast.
Still
Dog still
going.
gotta eat.
Yeah. Everyone got to
Did you
eat.
have your Dream Eater with you already?
I don't think breakfast is here. I think breakfast is off sleeping in the dream world somewhere.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you a free summon breakfast whenever you want.
As he opens the door to leave, uh even though she wasn't there to start, breakfast does toddle out after him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, breakfast with you forever.
Breakfast is your dream eater, and she loves you.
Breakfast. She's my little lady.
Uh-huh.
I just don't think I've used consistent pronouns for breakfast for ever, but it doesn't matter.
That's okay.
It's a damn
I mean,
sausage.
that's how it goes with pets.
It's a sausage
Yeah.
dog.
That's a
Yeah,
ball.
well, don't worry about it.
That's a ball. I like
Mhm.
the idea that like because it was a free summon, just like breakfast was like, I need to be here. Hi,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Hi.
Hi.
Breakfast?
hi.
Breakfast for breakfast?
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, breakfast.
breakfast for breakfast. Oh, I'm someone who's really attached to the idea of like pets reincarnating, so you're killing me here.
Yeah, I am making myself a little bit sad. I am gonna go bother Molly later, but she's asleep.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's critical that you bother Molly after this.
Hey,
Yeah.
Molly. She's not waking up. She's out.
Oh.
I was gonna be a jerk and wake her up. She is unconscious.
That's your
Sleepy
dream eater. She's
dog.
fucking out.
All right. That's the end of the castle in the sky.
Yeah.
The shortest and saddest, but also like the most satisfying overall.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Mhm.
you flatter me.
Mm.
It was good.
It was good. All right. Before. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say tonight's a great night for crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hee hee.
I like hitting you guys with hammers. It's great.
It's
I like
better when
throwing
we hit
myself down the
ourselves with
stairs
hammers.
by accident.
Yeah. Sorry, what'd you say, Stormy?
I like throwing myself down the stairs by accident.
Yeah.
I think that's called tripping.
Yeah.
Alright, so before we close out officially, I do want to hear just a description of the general location for Freddy's.
Oh boy.
Knowing
Yeah.
what you've told me, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of. Oh man. Okay. So I'm not gonna lie. I was shutting my brain off a little bit, but so I guess a very general description is, I would imagine, like, I'll go more into this next time, but like since we're transitioning from Castle in the Sky into where like my world is, so we're like transitioning from like these beautiful plains, like I'm assuming we're walking through grass, and then you start and our feet start touching cobblestone. It's like a transition from grass into cobblestone into almost like a kind of I guess what you can call it, a fortress if you want it to. And like we start coming, like we're like it's like we're walking through a street where on each side is like homes. It's I can only describe them as they look like Danish houses to me. They have the sort of, they're made of cobblestone. They have the wooden trimmings on them, and like they have orange bricked roofs. And as you're walking further down this path, it eventually opens up into a sort of beautiful courtyard where there are like the flowers have been planted. And if you go further down this courtyard, you see there is a gated entrance into stairs that lead up into a castle that is honest, I just realized how fucking strange this castle looks like. It is so it's a castle with fuck. Sorry. It is so there's like two giant pillars that frame the entrance. And up atop the two double doors is sort of like these like there's like like you see gears, and there's like a lot of spiky spires. I'm sorry again. Like I'm sorry. This is so disjointed. It's just because like when you said that like, oh, we'll hit mine next time. I turned my brain off.
Would you describe it as some kind of radiant garden?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yo.
it's raining.
Let's fucking
It's radiant
go.
garden. Okay.
Yahoo!
You know when you see flies do their little putting their hands together,
Oh,
rubbing their hands
yes.
together? I've been
Oh.
doing that the whole time mentally. I've been internally cackling like a fucking witch because I knew this.
The smiling smiler.
So smart.
Smiling
Awesome.
so neatly.
No, but
Tomato,
you-
tomato.
You look at the castle from Radiant Garden and try to describe that in
Okay,
simple
I've never
terms.
seen Radiant
Yeah.
Garden. I'm looking at it right now and it's fucking beautiful, okay?
Uh-huh.
It's beautiful, but
It's
you
Hollow
tried
Bastion,
describing
but
what
not
something
wrecked.
looks
When
like.
you were describing that, I was like, oh, you were describing a specific ass castle, but I cannot remember which one.
Yeah, I've only ever played
Mhm.
Kingdom. I haven't played like Kingdom Hearts 2, so I've never seen Radiant Garden. I'm looking at it right now, and I don't blame you. This place is really hard to describe, but it's fucking pretty.
I mean,
It's really pretty. Here's the thing. I'm describing the intact version. The way I was gonna describe it is like what we're looking at right now is kind of like the intact side, but if you actually look a little bit, like if you did like a kind of a like around a term, you start seeing the more fucked up version of it, where it has like all the metal tubes coming out of it.
yeah.
You see more of the machinery underneath.
Yeah. Basically, Gordon, Radiant Garden is Hollow Bastion pre, it getting fucked up.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Looking at it,
Yeah.
it looks very familiar. It makes sense.
I was Gordon being like, wow, Radiant Garden is so pretty, and me just being like, who's gonna tell?
I know Hollow Bastion. I know
Yeah.
Hollow Bastion.
But you didn't know that it was Radiant Garden.
I knew it looked incredibly familiar.
Uh-huh.
There's only
These
so
were the
many castles that exact shape.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
this fucking castle that he built. My God. He literally built a fortress, you son of a bitch.
This motherfucker.
This
Ansem, you motherfucker.
Vegeta be like, how can I make this about how much Ansem sucks?
It's not hard, to be fair.
That
I want
guy,
you to
for
know-
real.
I want you to know when I looked at Radiant Garden, I clicked on one of the images because apparently someone on Reddit 5 years ago is like, anyone notice the similarities between Radiant Garden and Midgard? Like,
It's.
I mean,
It's intentional.
yeah, it makes sense.
little.
It
It's,
feels out
yeah,
of
it's
pocket.
almost like this is where Cloud lives.
It's really funny because now I get to talk about on stream the conversation we had about fucking fucking Freddy and Sid being exes.
Oh boy!
Why
Oh
do you
boy!
Oh,
Specifically high school exes was I think
Oh,
what we
no.
talked
That's
about.
That's worse.
Oh.
So keep in mind they were dating pre-transition Freddy.
Yeah.
Oh.
God.
Oh boy!
It never ends.
No.
With Freddy, it just never ends.
No.
Literally, I think I made the joke with Katie where like the idea of Freddy, obviously meeting Sid again in fucking I keep wanting to say
Town.
Twilight Town, Traverse Town. My God, I'm
Mhm.
still mad at myself for fucking that up on during our session where I meant Traverse Town, not Twilight Town. But anyway, so like him meeting him up there again and thinking to himself, well, I did it once. Can't do it again.
The fucking expression I made.
Freaking-
What the
Seeing as a
fuck?
rebound from Luxord is really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fucking.
Unfortunately, in my headcanon, he has a vampire boyfriend already, so.
So I would like to remind everyone in this universe, Sid is raising 3 young ducklings.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not completely relevant to this conversation. I just thought I'd like everyone to know.
Yeah, no, that's
Well,
beautiful.
actually, yeah, they specifically talk to Donald about being Uncle Donald. He's a distant relative.
Yeah.
I get. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about that. Like, fucking, because Scrooge was living in fucking Radiant Garden. So. I guess he just went. Ah, fuck. Who's an adult? I can take care of these kids. Sid's a nice young man.
Yeah, Sid'll do.
Sid'll do.
That'll do.
The Kingdom Hearts version of Sid, yeah, sure. The Final Fantasy VII version of Sid,
No.
do not let that man have
No.
children.
Please, it's bad enough. No.
Look, Sid is an honest, hardworking man. Maybe he'll impart some work ethic on the boys.
Shut up.
They're ready to shop.
That's what they
Hey, it works! It works! It works!
I mean,
To work.
he can't give the kids to Donald. Donald's off doing who knows what.
Yeah, Donald's busy.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Good
session, everyone.
That was
Good shit.
Immense heartbreak, really good freaking narration and character work done by everybody. Capped off with talking about the Duck Boys.
Constantly getting hit in the back of the head by Freddy's backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freddy,
but like,
the guy that
what
you
other way to
are.
go out?
The man
No,
ever.
but Josh, literally the second you went, oh, describe your world, I started fucking laughing to myself, like, yes, describe this world that definitely should be here right now.
Yeah.
I was like, because
No,
you were going on, and I was like, wait, now hold on, this sure sounds an awful lot like.
Yeah. That was like also the other reason why I was describing the intact version, because like by this point in time, Radiant Garden is back.
Yeah.
It's back in name, but it still has the, like... Well, because I think also, even when it was Hollow Bastion, it, like, never truly fell to darkness in the sense of, like, the world being brought into the Dark Realm. Like, the world, like, ceasing to be.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the world got fucked up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Ford just sent a message. Of course he's. We need to go. We need to go.
We need to leave.
Yeah, we gotta
get
wrap it up.
dinner.
We gotta wrap it up. Great session, everyone. I think
Yay.
this was so much fun. This was like the best one like we've had,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't say that lightly. I will think about this one.
You
a
guys
lot.
are all amazing. A+ applause for your improv and skills.
I would try to do a better job next time, but all of you have to act surprised. That's it.
Yeah, of course. We'll give you the reactions you deserve in the moment. Don't worry, buddy.
I think in character also most of us don't know what this place is.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna send you guys over to my friend Pyro, who is playing Raft with a bunch of my other friends.
Yay!
Oh,
Good night,
give me-
everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
I have to go eat dinner and then I have to read Hills Like White Elephants because I forgot I have English class tomorrow.
Oh boy.
Ugh. Good
Oh
luck
my
with
god,
English
wait.
class.
Speaking of English class, have I told you about Woke Cup yet?
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye, chat.
Bye, everyone. I thought you ended the stream.